And welcome to Endless Horizon, my Let's Play in the Raft game. It is hardcore survival of the most hardcore kind. And up to this point, I've been trying to just figure out how to actually accomplish the survival. I started out by not surviving, and then I figured out how to keep myself hydrated, and I made some advancements on how to prevent losing all my stuff should I become incapacitated. But in the last episode, we went to the Big Island, and I found a trading post, and one of the telling clues there was that what they expected for me for trade was fish, and that was when the gears got spinning, and I realized that really maybe if you're going to be stuck out in the ocean, instead of fighting it, why don't you embrace it? Maybe the key to staying fed is fishing. So, that is the plan this time. I'm going to put my hypothesis to the test here. And we're going to fish and see how it goes. If I can in fact fish and can do it fairly easily. I heard the shark. Then this might be the key to moving forward in the game, because right now I'm not hardly doing any moving. Well, I mean, certainly not the boat. Okay. Oh, I got a fish. What kind of fish is that? Let's see. Let's see if I can. A tilapia. So something tells me I'm going to be going through a lot of timber. So this has been it's the whole series has been a learning exercise, to be sure, and I think the key here is you once you get some success begets success. Success also is an incredibly motivating thing. So I feel energized. I feel ready to press on. And as I pointed out, right, I had hardly played the game at all before I started this series. And we are light years. I mean, you look at how small this boat is and how little stuff I have on it, and yet this is like a couple orders of magnitude further than I ever got before. So that just tells you how bad things were that first hour. I think they need some wood. I know I got wood someplace. Yeah, I got wood in the container here. There we go. And then it instantly cooked. Hey! Stupid bird. At least I know it's fairly easy to scare off the seagull, so that's good. Look at all that hunger relieved, or undone, or filled up, or whatever. Very, very nice. So here's it's okay. I've successfully caught fish. I've successfully cooked fish, successfully ate fish, unsuccessfully caught a barrel, and I got to deal with the shark. Sounds like I don't have to deal with the shark. He's gone. Joy. But my point is this is sustainable, not super sustainable, but certainly more sustainable than anything I've done up to this point. So, just missed. So, the trick, and I think in a lot of ways, this might sound kind of weird to say, but in a lot of ways, approaching this as a series in episodes, I think helps. And what I'm saying there is, if I wasn't doing the series, I'd pick like a Friday night or something, everybody goes to sleep, and I would have played Raft for like 5 hours into the wee hours of the morning, right? All at once. And of course I would have been tired, but it would have been one unbroken play session. Now, I mean, done that a lot. Been playing games for a bazillion years. Did that a lot over the years. My point, though, is doing it as a part of this series. I do an episode at a time, and it takes about a week and a half, 2 weeks before I come back to it, because I got other series I do. But in that week and a half or two, I think about the game. I run it through my head. I think about different strategies. Do some root cause analysis. I mean, really, it's like you see some of those chess players, right, where they play these games by mail, where they make their move, and then they have like a week or so while they're waiting for the letter from their opponent telling them their move, right? So they can think some more until they come up with all the possible ways to do this. And I think that mechanic is kind of what has happened here, or has been happening here, where I'm playing the episode and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes I just got a lot of stuff going on at once, and it kind of scrambles you. Yeah, okay. And so taking a break in between those hour sessions, oh my gosh, that's a big island. That's a big old island. Okay, we'll try to get there after we keep eating here. But I really think that these opportunities to kind of, it's almost like a retrospective. Like professional athletes, when they're out there doing whatever they do, a lot of times, especially at practice or even at games, right, they have video footage of their performance, and they go over it with their coaches, and they talk about what they could have done better, and look, you can see how you did this wrong, but you did this right, and this thing over here. That's kind of what this is, because not only is it I do an episode and then I have a week or two to think about it and I do another episode. Don't forget there's the editing, right? And it's interesting because you do the episode and you're thinking about stuff while you're doing the episode, and then when you go to edit the episode, you've had more time to think about it. It's actually, you get a second chance to think about it. Plus, you see stuff that you missed while you were actually playing the game because, you were unfocused. I can't tell you how many times during editing I've noticed stuff that I didn't notice in the game, right? In fact, the guy who does Mischief of Mice, right? His name's Valen. He, on a recent Vintage Story episode, he was so excited because he went to the trader and the trader was selling flax fiber, and he bought a bunch of it. There he comes. Hold on. Yeah. Buzz off. But you know, but he did exactly what I just described. Whoa, where's this graph go? He did exactly what I described. He dropped the fiber, but he didn't see that he dropped the fiber. Meanwhile, all of us that are watching the video, we're all like, "But you dropped the fiber," and you know, people are leaving comments and stuff. And in the next episode, he's like, "Yes, everybody, I saw it too. Thank you." So you know, he went to recover it. He luckily had set the time it takes for items to despawn to a pretty high amount, so he was able to go back and retrieve his stuff. Though, in getting to that trader's part, he died a couple times. It was a really rough trip. But my point in all of that is that in a lot of ways, playing the game in a series of episodes of time in between them, and you know, watching the tape over again, so to speak, it's definitely not the way I would normally play the game, but it has brought its own set of rewards, and I don't know. I'm not saying that I would play games like this even if I wasn't making a channel, but I'm also not saying that I wouldn't. What does that mean? I don't know. It just, you know, it's a growing experience, a learning experience, right? The longer you keep breathing and exist on the planet, the more you learn. That's just how it is, right? And so I learned something interesting and new, shared it with you. Take it for what it's worth. I'm afraid to move this boat because, well, doesn't look like I have to move the boat. The boat's moving. So never mind what I was about to say about moving the boat. Though it does kind of illustrate exactly what I was afraid of, which is that the boat would kind of like take off without me. I need a new spear because my current spear is about dead. Just about dead. Now here's the thing. So I'm catching fish, I'm cooking fish, I'm eating fish. But it's kind of like a constant thing. And I'm drinking, and that's a constant thing. And I guess what I'm saying is it's sustainable, but that's pretty much all I'm doing, right? So I'm not starving. I'm not dehydrating. Not really doing anything else, though. And I'm assuming that the point of the game is not just to keep eating and drinking, but rather to do something. To have no idea what it would be, or where it would be, or why it would be. But there's got to be more to the game than this. So the eating and drinking is basically I'm okay. I've reached something that's sustainable. Now I've got to learn how to optimize this so that I can do other stuff besides eat and drink. So I got to try to figure out how this throwable anchor works, because this is the first time I had one. I'm also worried about leaving my potatoes unattended. Because I don't know, is it only at the beginning stage at the seagulls that can eat them, or can the seagulls eat them now? Oh boy. Anyway, it's just it's been a learning experience, but I think Well, I think to a certain extent I'm still in the momentum hump. But in this particular game, I would say there's... Up. He's gone again. In this particular game, there's kind of like a momentum hump in the momentum hump, right? So there was the momentum hump that just like, how do I stay conscious for longer than a day? And we got that one. And then there's the second momentum hump, which I think we're kind of coming off at the end of, which is this one, right? Is I can feed myself and I can stay hydrated, but what next? Well, I think the answer to that question is what's next on this island. So I don't know how this thing works. I can place it. I don't know how it's gonna... Oh. So that... Okay. Oh. Do I throw it? Or just drop it? Okay, so now the boat is tethered. Okay. So I in theory, don't need to worry about it wandering off. So what are these? I don't even know what they are, but I need a hook. How do you use a hook on this? It says I need a hook. And that... I don't even know what that is. I think it's a rock. Which... Seriously, I need a hook for a rock? Here's... This is a bot. Which is a BOT. A big old tree. And... Huh. I can't do anything with it. So that makes it a bout. A B-O-U-T. A big old useless tree. And I can't do anything with these logs on the ground, which, come on, man. This is kind of good. Okay, now, these look like banana trees. But I don't see any bananas, and I don't get to cut them down. Here we go. So knocking some coconuts off. What in the... Jesus? I heard, like, Screaming Eagle or something. Okay. So I saw a shadow of some flying thing. There's a bomber on here. I don't know what he dropped on me. You've got like 2 seconds to react. Is that him? What is he dropping? So maybe I can get up there and see what this thing is. Attack him on his own turf. Or maybe I can just get my boat. He doesn't seem to be bothering me on the boat. Or raft, or whatever we want to call this. Shark, great. That's a big old thing, and I'm sure it probably lives at the top of the mountain. And I get bombed about 400 times before I got up there. Well, I suspect that big islands usually mean cooler stuff, but that also probably means bigger risk. And I'm not very well armed or armored for shaving cream. I'm not really well set up for tackling this guy or what's on this island. So we're going mobile. What is this? Oh, it's my stub of a spear. So as strange as it is to say, I just lost my paddle. Well, I'm just losing everything. As strange as it is to say, since I started this game, I never thought I'd say this. I need to get back out to sea to kind of get situated and back on my feet, because in the past, being at sea is what was killing me, and islands were only temporary retreats. This doesn't fit here. I have a fish that doesn't fit here. Well, it's sushi now. Okay, good to know. I'm not going to hold a big old fish for a few days until I find something to do with it. Wonder if there's a fillet table. But, yeah, that's, it seems pretty weird, but it seems like now my most successful, or my greatest chance, wow, right between them. That was impressive. We got one. I think my greatest or best chance of success now is to be at sea, right? That seems to be where I am getting the most stuff. And, including being able to feed myself and keep myself hydrated. Double up. So having a bigger boat is also somewhat inducive to being able to grab more stuff, I've noticed. Which I wouldn't have figured before, but I would like to, I guess, I would like to know if there's better weapons that I can make. Because the shark, you know, sometimes people talk about like love-hate relationships. Yeah, with the shark, it's just hate, just pure hate. Well, I would say that. I would say there is a love. There's a love component there, but it's because I love seafood, and when you kill the shark, you finally get some. Well, not finally get. I mean, the shark provides quite a bit of food compared to these individual fish I'm catching. So, yeah, I just wish I could kill the shark faster. And truth be told, too, I would like to be able to better control when and where I kill the shark. Because the best time to kill the shark is when you're stuck or anchored at an island, because you know that there seems to be all sorts of cool stuff in the shallows, and if you kill the shark, that gives you a few minutes. You know, like a kind of a one of those timed shopping sprees you see on Food Network, right? Where you're like, here's a supermarket, you got 2 minutes, go. That's kind of what would happen. You kill the shark and you've got like 3 minutes, go. go and find all the goodies that you want. The problem is, and I'm, here he comes. And there you go. Buzz off. The problem is that if you remember, I did try to attack the shark in the shallows once, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. If you're keeping score, man versus shark, the shark had a score, and then I didn't die, but Homo sapiens didn't make much of a showing in that particular battle. And I've talked to people about it, and the thing is I have some ideas about how to be more effective in the fight with the shark, but when you're out there actually doing it, it's kind of hard to remember all those details. So I think the trick there is just practice, as in so many other things. Now, I'm pretty sure that all the fish that they were looking for at the trading post were a good bit fancier than anything I've caught so far, which there's probably different types of fishing poles, and so there are fishing poles that are more useful or specialized in some way, but for now I'm perfectly happy to not starve, right? And that's what this is. So fishing poles are kind of expensive, but if you're out here in the water not starving, and you get you make the good use of your time, this works. This works. And I'm starting to think that I might try planting some more stuff in my little raft garden here, because the seagull will pop up and try to steal it, but if I'm here just like fishing or something, I could be able to either ward him off in the first place or scare him off if he does land. That sucked. Starting to realize too, the bigger the boat gets, the harder it is to run around from side to side and pick up useful bits. Yeah, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Did I just drink salt water? Wow, that was bad. I am collecting a lot of stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Small island. Another problem I'm running into is my poor old brain. Here I am. I got a fishing pole and I got a hook that aren't. They don't do the same thing, but the mechanics behind using them are similar enough that, like, I'm holding a fishing pole thinking that I can grab boxes, or I'm holding my hook thinking, okay, why not I cast that and see what I catch to eat, right? It's just A little confusing. Kind of throws me off my game a little bit. Couldn't find them for a second. Okay, time to try out this whole repair thing, right? Let's see. So we open up my choice. Open my choices and repair. Look at that! Wow, I feel like a real boy. So says Pinocchio. And it's kind of like the first time you actually cook something in a proper way. You know, not like a bowl of cereal or a sandwich. And suddenly, you know, you start talking to everyone like, you know, you're Gordon Ramsay or something. But, baby steps. See, there's rocks in there. There's metal bits down there. It's all sorts of cool stuff in here. So, I'm guessing that making a sail is going to be much more useful than trying to row everywhere. I have no idea how to use a sail. I mean, I know how to use a sail in real life. I have no idea how to use a sail in raft. And it's got a pair of handlebars. Okay. Open. Oh. Okay. Hold R to rotate. Oh. Okay, how do I know which way the wind's blowing, though? I mean, it looks like the wind's doing something with it. I think... Yeah, the sail doesn't really change much to give me a clue. However... I'm pretty sure... I saw there's like a flag or a pennant or something like that. Let me get hydrated here and fed, and we can take a look at that. But we got a sail. I sure hope to high heaven that the sail doesn't have something crazy like durability. Put some more planks on there. For hunger, nothing beats. Oh, my wife really likes beets. So, you know, I've probably gone 99.9% of my life without eating beets. And then when I married my wife, we get beets quite often. And truth is, I don't mind beets. The thing is, the problem with beets isn't the flavor, isn't the texture, isn't the fact they're a root. Nope. It's the color. And this is the thing, right? I can see why people don't eat pea soup. Because that's a gross color. That is a gross color. The problem with beets, it is a beautiful color. I love that color. It's not a food color, though. I mean, you know, it's beautiful, but it's not. This is tasty, beautiful. It is like, you know, and the other thing too is, yeah, those puppies stain big time. So you know, be careful when you eat your beets. We eat a lot of beets, especially around the holidays in the summer. You know, she makes a kind of a beet salad with mayonnaise and stuff that eat cold, and we have that in the summer. But you know, during the holidays, there's all sorts of traditional Russian dishes full of beets. If you say borscht, that is certainly big in the Russian diet, but borscht is a Ukrainian dish, and it's kind of funny. I make borscht, and my wife makes borscht, and her borscht is kind of red in color, right? It looks like it was made with like tomato sauce. Hold on. Putts. Now I gotta fix this again. Ooh, he did a number on it. But I didn't have to choose it again because it's still the same mode, right? I selected it before. Still active. Anyway, her borscht is red. More like red. She looks like it was made with like tomatoes. And my borscht is classic old school purple. Like real beets. You know, and the difference is like she cooks borscht based on the borscht that she grew up on in the modern Russia or Soviet Union, and I follow the recipe that I have, which is from an old cookbook. And it's an American cookbook that was actually made in the 90s, so that might sound like an old cookbook to you, but it's not. It's actually a cookbook that was compiled where some second generation Russian Americans were spending time with you know, the older people who were first generation Russian immigrants to America, people who got chased out during the Bolshevik Revolution, and they brought their recipes and stuff with them. So you know, they're like 100-year-old recipes, and so that's what I was making. So it's just interesting. It is very interesting. Just like I don't know if you're interested in this, but for Easter, Russians make a yeast bread that is, for all intents and purposes, is basically like a modified panettone, right? Like they have at Christmas in Italy, and they call it a kulich, right? Now the modern kuliches don't look anything like the old kulich. The modern kuliches are all baked in like coffee cans and stuff, and they're basically a vertical cylinder with like frosting and sprinkles on top, and they are delicious, but they tend to be kind of dry. But the kuliches from 100 years ago, no, that's not. They were big round loaves, right, with what looks like in English to be a XB, because in Cyrillic alphabet it's not XB. It basically stands for Christos Vaskrese, which means, you know, Christ is risen. But anyhow, it is a very, very different recipe than what modern Russians expect, modern Slavs. So anyhow, I find it interesting. Oh, I got ripped off there. Yep. Yeah, I like. So here's our cooking story. So once upon a time, when I married my wife, she was thrilled that I liked to cook, and I loved to cook. I had all sorts of cookbooks, and I was learning how to cook different cuisines, and I was but you see, learning means experimenting. Learning means practicing. What am I pointing at? Okay. Put this toward the middle so it doesn't get eaten. Okay, now I essentially have an indicator for wind. It's like a windsock. Anyhow, I like cooking. Like I said, I used to cook dinner for my friends on Friday nights. And I was, you know, I have all these great cookbooks. But when I got married to my wife, she was thrilled that I could cook. But she was pretty particular about what she ate. She didn't like American food at the time. And she always clearly wanted me to make certain things, but make them in a certain way. And she did not like experimentation. Well, this is the problem then. Cooking, which I did because, I mean, you need to eat, but it was fun for me, no longer was fun for me. And, whoops, did not mean to do that. Get my cup of water. So he took that out because I wasn't very good at defending the boat, and I need some more wood. Wood. Thank you. Anyway, she was so it basically took the fun out of cooking for me, and so I'm still the family cook, but I was just cooking what she wanted, and that was it. And that was kind of boring, and it was that way for several years until my youngest daughter, and again, there's not much point except that there's not an age difference. They're 90 seconds apart. But my youngest daughter started to take an interest in cooking. She started off baking, and then she's moved on to other stuff. But and then I started recapturing my interest. I really don't know how to work this sail. Let's see. Rotate it. I can't see my flag. Oh, there's my flag. Okay, so this should be as fast as I can go then, right? I'm going with the wind, and it should put us even with that island, right? I don't hear anybody agreeing with me. Of course, nobody's disagreeing with me, so can I kind of whoa. Can I get it to head toward the island? You know, with the sail, I definitely had a sense of progress. Not with the sail, excuse me. With the paddle, I definitely had a sense of progress. With the sail, I'm not entirely sure it's doing anything. And for all intents and purposes, maybe it's not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not. It doesn't look like it's strained with all the air pressure. Anyway, so, but two things have been happening. One, my wife has started to become more adventurous with what we cook and what we eat. And that has kind of made it so that I'm starting to be interested in cooking again. But, you know, now I just got so many other things that's going on. I don't have time to kind of pour over the cookbook and try to figure out my next project. I'd rather be out here pouring over the hibachi on my little wooden raft out in the middle of a virtual ocean and share it with you. Though all this talk of food and eating all this seafood is making me hungry. I'll tell you this, though. If you're into seafood... and I love seafood, you should go to one of those places that does a seafood boil, right? You might know what I'm talking about. There's the restaurants where you go in and they they basically give you like a big old bib and a big old wooden mallet, and then they come out and they dump this big metal pot onto your table, and what they dump out is seafood boil. So it's usually boiled potatoes, boiled corn on the cob, crab legs, mussels, that type of stuff. They're expensive, but usually they come out, and so it's not just for one person anyway. It's usually for 2 or 3 or 4, and you get to take it home, right? What you don't eat. But Oh my goodness. I love those things so much. I love them. The other thing is, I love real crab. I'm pretty fond of the artificial crab too, right? And so while some people will turn their nose up at artificial crab and kind of poo-poo it, I'm like, yeah, bring it on. And the thing is it's, especially compared to crab, it's so cheap, right? So I love getting like a package of artificial crab legs, right? Because it's just a muscle meat. It's fish. It's usually whitefish. Speaking of whitefish, and whoa, speaking of white, what I do? Go get him. Pick him up. I'm losing my boat. Thank you. Where is my boat? That must be it. Can I catch up to it? Oh. There. Oh. Wow, that was like the most productive I've ever been off the boat. So, like I said, seafood. What did I just... Oh, throw away my... So there you go. Anyway, so those seafood boils are... oh, yeah, I'm talking about the artificial crab. I'll take a package of those, and they're usually like $3 or $4 for like a half pound or something. And I'll melt some butter, and I'll just dip them, right? And it's cold, right? You get them in the refrigerator section of the store. So what I especially like to do is on a hot day, do that for lunch or dinner, right? So nice cold crab legs on a hot day. One of the other things I love on hot days are tuna sandwiches and or egg salad sandwiches. Again, it's the cold, right? If you have a good tuna salad or a good egg salad on some nice soft bread, not Wonder Bread, just some like nice whole wheat bread. Oh my goodness, I get myself in trouble there. Add a glass of milk, cold glass of milk. Gosh, that right there, that's a special summer meal. And probably accompany it. That's another big island, but I don't think I've been to that one. It doesn't look the same as any of the ones I remember. But I still think I'll get bounced around like a rubber ball. So we'll remain at sea a little bit to kind of get my sea legs. And at some point I need to explore the different bits of the boat, because I think one of my problems I have here is I'm constantly fighting the shark and trying to rebuild or repair the boat, on top of trying to keep myself fed and trying to keep myself hydrated. At some point, I need to improve upon the efficiency of all of those activities, or at least one of them, which gives me more time. And with the boat, I'm pretty sure that I'll need some time to study the boat modules that are available to me, because there's got to be something that's shark proof. I mean, or a shark defense or something. So if I can get some of that, that would be good. Yep. So next step. I think my next step is, I don't know what my next step is, right? So I'm able to feed myself. I've got an insane amount of stuff and running out of storage. So it's too late to start on this episode, but I think maybe the next direction to take is to expand the boat and learn a bit more about what I can do to expand the boat and how to use stuff like the sail. Because I got the sale. I got to tell you, right now, sale is underwhelming. It's not as useful as I would hoped it would be, but maybe I'm just not doing it right. And the chances of that are good 80%. But, there might be some other bits too. Like figure out that, it's shark proof in the boat somehow. The problem is it's like it almost forces you to do it outside the game, right? You can't be in the game and learn it because there's no tutorial, right? Except throwing you out in the ocean and seeing if you die, and there's not like much help in game. But it doesn't matter, even if there is like oodles, right? If you had like they have in Satisfactory, if I had a codex that I could just look up. Because, like I said, I cannot waste a single moment. If I'm not pulling something useful out of the water, then I'm purifying water, or I'm fishing and cooking and eating. That's all I got time and energy for. So, I mean, can you imagine, right? Sitting here trying to figure out what the next building bit is for the boat and what these different bits do, and trying, going through my build menu. Meanwhile, the shark's nibbling on the corner of the boat. Got to stop and go do that, or stop and starve. So I think I might have to go offline and start looking at the wiki, but I really don't want to do that because undoubtedly the wiki's going to have the whole shebang, right? It's going to have the whole story. And it's going to be almost impossible not to spoil the story for myself by going out on the wiki. But, no, we'll see. We'll see. Of course, in Satisfactory and even Minecraft, there's a point where we're just automating the living snot out of this stuff. And so, at the beginning of the game where you're like cooking a handful of potatoes to keep you going, and then later in the game where you're like, you've automated and you're cooking full stacks of 64 super loaded baked potatoes or something. Very different mechanic here. I'm not entirely sure that there is an automation system. Mostly because I'm not entirely sure an automation system makes sense in this context, but maybe it does. I just have no idea what that would look like. I mean, I've got a handful of things on my raft, and it's pretty crowded, and my raft is, I don't know, smaller than a pickup truck bed. Maybe a little bigger than that. Still. So what do these things do? They don't ward off sharks. I thought you would be gone longer. Guess not. Okay, what does this thing do? Oh, they're like recipes. I learned how to do stuff. So, sofa, a curtain, a shelf, and a flag. A real flag. I can build a shelf. Interesting. And I would put it somewhere in the ship. And then I can move stuff next to it by my shelf. I've been lax with you guys. And so that's kind of how it goes with this one, right? I'm so focused on staying alive and doing stuff and just constantly moving. I don't have time to set up and execute puns, bad humor, whatever you want to call it. Oh gosh. I still don't know how to wear stuff. I have 2 shark heads now. And I'm not quite sure I would ever want to wear a shark head. I mean, on the Dr. Demento show once upon a time, and I'll put a link to the Dr. Demento on the episode page. But there was a song that they sang on the show one time called Fish Heads. Roly-poly fish heads, eat 'em up, yum. And I mean, let's face it, it's a fish head, right? There's nothing appetizing about eating a fish head. Man, that's two times I've missed a barrel to the point where you can almost see it scratch the surface of the barrel as it goes by. Anyway, yeah, I'm not real keen on eating fish heads. But it doesn't seem like the type of thing one would want to wear on their head. So, I mean, maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't want to wear a fish head on my head. This is another big island. But not big island. It's like a big small island, if that makes any sense whatsoever. With the barrels, I've actually gotten quite a few potatoes and beets without growing them. So the question is, do we try to stop at this island or not? The island would be a good stopping point. And I'm headed right for it. Let's see. I need 4 stone. And that would do it. Ooh, I got more stone than I thought. Okay, what is it with the pointing? Am I too close? Is that what the problem is? I'll grab this. Thank you. Okay. And then pick it up. And then throw it overboard. And there we go. Bob's junk. Hey! Hey! Holy smokes! Was it damaged? I didn't think it was damaged. I wonder if there is kind of like when he's chewing on the boat, if there's some type of random... No, I don't need to do this. I wonder if there's some type of random element as to how many times he's got to gnaw on it before I lose a piece. Probably. Okay, let's see. Let's study. Open book. Okay, flag. String light. Looks like a tentacle. And a painting. Okay. So I see a tree. I still think this looks like a banana tree, but okay. We got a coconut out of that. Yeah, when it comes to these little islands, I'm essentially a one-man locust swarm, right? I'm just going to have to just take everything that is even remotely useful to me and move on to the next island. Ooh, nice. Great. What? Oh, got a lot of wood and nail. So I guess I got nailed. Let's see. Oh, my axe is gone. Watermelon. Pineapple. Except I don't have space for it. I already have enough pineapple seeds for now. There you go. Let's put this stuff away. And I think that pretty much does it for this episode. If you look at what I have stored, compared to even last episode, and certainly compared to the first episode, I am rich beyond imagination. Yes, like I said, the next step is now that we can feed ourselves and keep ourselves hydrated. The next step is probably making a bigger and more effective boat. But thank you for joining me on this learning exercise. I hope you found it interesting. I sure did. And I'm excited about the next episode. I hope you are. I hope you join us. And I think it will be a lot of fun. But until then, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps a touch of good fortune. Cheers.